So, last time is O'Brien. Go.
So, last time on Shadows of Gradiriel, we arrived in Rydell, dropped off some people we had briefly scuffled with, and then basically arrested.
More or less.
And upon arriving back in Rydell, we found that there was a big party going on that Bjorn had been invited to specifically, along with the rest of us by association, through some sort of spell that I can't immediately remember the name of. Sending? Sending. I'm just going to go with sending. Shut up.
Sending.
Thank you. And it wound up turning into this whole, the first, 70% of the previous session was just utter chaos.
Yep, it's great.
Of us just fucking with each other, because it was a big party. Bjorn got super drunk. He danced in the sky for a bit thanks to a flight spell, and gravity just became a non-issue. And some other shenanigans in the form of everyone picking on Locke because he's a scrawny little twink and making their laughter exceptionally unpleasant, and then him being carried around by the scruff of his neck by a big-ass dog. Among many, 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 many other... there was just too much comedic shit that happened for me to recount in a reasonable amount of time. But at the end of all of that, we came to in the morning to find that Bjorn's sword had gone missing. And poking around for a while, we eventually found out why. It turns out it had been snatched away from him by someone who, in the past, long before he'd ever met the party, had their village raided by the clan he once belonged to. After sort of addressing that issue, Bjorn went on his merry way. We followed him, and now I have no idea where the hell we're going or what we're doing. So I guess, DM, it's over to you.
Well, most of you followed him. Riven stayed behind to...
right.
Basically was staying behind and waiting. The rest of the party followed Bjorn, who...
Yeah.
It's the story of his life.
That last session ended up being a little bit of, which was great.
The whole session was just him getting what he needed. Drinks.
We pick up with most of the group, sans a Riven, Hollis, so that Bjorn can get him another drink. It is currently, it's probably about 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Still have a good bit of day left. Guys, we'll venture over there, and I'm assuming Bjorn is just going to go straight for the bar. Even though it's
Yep, 100%.
I'm hungover. I'll have another.
But he's not hungover.
That's
Hair of the dog, man.
We,
Magic.
yeah.
D&D's so broken.
Magic.
Yeah. Is there anything Bjorn wants to just makes his way over there, or is he just...
No, he's pretty much gonna keep to himself and down his drink. This bar got mead.
Yeah.
He's in the mood for something sweet, so he's gonna order that.
That's only gonna be probably silver pieces for like an ale of, or
All right.
something. Not gonna be too crazy. That's not their going big thing. You had their going big thing.
Yes, I did.
I can't really think of anything for Locke to do at the moment, other than, I guess, just wait for Riven to show back up so the whole group can be in attendance to discuss plans.
Right. Yeah, it is probably much in the same thought process.
Yeah. Well, we came on a mission, and I doubt that whatever Bjorn drinks is going to be as wild, so probably stick around and wait for Riven.
Well,
Okay.
actually, if it takes more than 20 to 30 minutes for Riven to link up with us, then I might have Locke speak with Bjorn.
Back to her.
Yep.
Okay.
Riven, what precisely are you doing? Just watching the house?
Yep.
So, it takes a little while before there's any kind of real movement leading. Are you going to attempt to go in the house or knock, or are you just waiting to see if she comes out?
Just waiting.
Okay. So it's going to be a bit for that, probably a good 20-30 minutes or so. Locke, you'll get your conversation with Bjorn momentarily.
Alright.
Because it is going to be much longer than 20 minutes.
Alright.
And eventually, where are you? Are you like hiding, or are you just in the street?
I'm just kind of off to the side, leaning against a building or something, watching the door.
Where's Hollis in relation to that?
Probably next to me?
Like on the road or in the alley? He could fit in the alley, theoretically.
Sure. It can fit in the alley.
I mean, that'll keep people from like eyeing him in the road as they're going about their way through the streets and stuff.
Okay.
So after a bit, you will see Mara will eventually sort of step out of the house. And she currently has a like, you know those when you go to like a fabric store, how they have the rolls of fabric that like wholesale style rolls of fabric, and she's just carrying a bundle of fabric essentially, and she will sort of look around a bit, and then we'll start to make her way essentially east or to the right, away from where her house is. It's would technically be the opposite direction from the house that you're sitting at.
Okay. She's going to follow.
Okay. Are you following carefully? Keeping a distance?
Sure. Yeah.
Don't let you want to be noticed. That's the question here. She will walk a few houses down, go off out of the more residential district to the more business end of town. She doesn't seem to pick up on you being behind her or anything else like that.
Okay.
No real stealth check needed. She's sort of tunnel visioning, so it's more if you wanted to be obvious about it. And she goes into this little business. Looks like a tailor shop of sorts. If you look in the window, you'll see that the tailor shop is ran by a half-elven woman, sort of older, maybe mid to late 40s, because there is a window.
Okay.
And you're just watching. You're just sort of...
Yeah, she's just watching and thinking. But
Okay. And then after a time, make me a stealth check to see how obvious you actually are.
20.
20. Nice. Okay. So there's a brief discussion. You can see through the... Oh, make a stealth check for Hollis, too.
Ah.
He might be harder to...
14.
He might be harder to
There
hide.
it is. I was about to say, there it is. The
Nope.
couch.
Jeez.
He's just laying down.
Laying down in, like, the darkness of the alleys.
Yeah.
Granted, it's not really dark right now, but... Actually... It's not really dark right now, but it's dark where Hollis is for some reason.
Why?
For the same reason he turned black.
What do you mean he turned back? He was always black.
Well, he was always dark, but he got much darker when you had your trip to the land that made him much older.
What special abilities does he have now that I don't know of?
Maybe.
You don't know. That's the problem.
Yeah.
It also helps that Riven doesn't properly understand magic, so Hollis could do crazy things and she would have no idea. So, yeah, and with the nat 20 roll on his stealth and just the nature of things right now, I think it makes sense to play off with that because that's kind of funny. And you sort of hide, and she slowly will. She hands off the bundles, and then she's making her way back out of the tailor shop and continuing through the business district for a bit. you want to follow her and about her day, you can totally do that. That high enough
Sure.
stealth roll. And with that, you're going to be following her for a couple hours. Locke, you had your conversation with Bjorn you wanted?
Yeah. Like, once it becomes clear that Riven won't be immediately linking back with the rest of the group, he'll look over to Bjorn and give him this sort of curious look. Like, so, you holding up all right?
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, yes. You know, not the way I'd planned to start the day, but had worse.
I just know that sometimes, unwelcome reminders of things we're not proud of can be a little distracting is all. So I just wanted to make sure you were doing all right.
I see where you are coming from, and I appreciate it, friend, but I assure you, things like this are not going to rattle me.
All right. Just
So,
looking out for the team.
well, as one should.
Oak is nearby with you guys, and he'll speak up. Keep in mind that if you ever have something that you feel you need to share, we're here to listen. We've all got our more interesting stories to tell. Okay.
We've all got baggage.
Well, most of my stories are not suitable for... Well, he looks around. Friendly company. Besides, well, he drinks more of his mead and sort of like trails off a little bit.
Sensing impending awkwardness, Locke is going to fall back on an old favorite. So, changing the subject a little bit, this is going to sound extremely weird, but just bear with me. What's your favorite color?
My favorite color.
Yes, and why? I'm not just looking for just green. I'm like, what's the reasoning behind it? You'd be surprised how much interesting conversation you can get starting with just that.
True, I suppose.
I would know. I've done it.
I suppose my favorite color would be a green, a darker green. Well, when I went on my first voyage with my kinsman, the very first thing I acquired, the very first treasure I ever took as my own, was a cloak of a dark green color. I was very proud of it. And it was quite comfortable, very useful when winter came about.
Up north in Aban, I bet.
Indeed. I don't understand. I kind of peek out the window. I don't understand how you all can not be burning up with how warm it is over here.
I suppose it just boils down to, you live in a place like this long enough, you were born in the cold and the snow. I was born in a dense-ass forest.
There are forests on Iban.
Yes, but rich green, not coated in snow. And also filled with the most snotty high elves you've ever met.
I don't know if I've met many high elves, but...
Well, I'm half high elf, so you can say you've met half of one at least.
Half of one.
I forget, at this point has Bjorn met my character's mother? I think he has.
We have, yeah.
You did.
Yeah. So yeah, you've met at least one, thanks to my mother being one.
This is true.
And Bjorn also met Kalethir, Oak's father, briefly, who was also a high elf. When you were doing your discussion about what to do with Cad.
That's correct. When we were not sure what the fuck was happening.
Yep.
I'm trying to remember did we ever resolve that, or is that one of the currently hanging plot threads we have to deal with?
With Cad's random spontaneous acts of aggression? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
I don't think we've actually done anything about it.
I think that because it hasn't been a problem since we left the Feywild. I think that's just an issue we only have to worry about when we're there or in any place where Dahlia has more active control.
Well,
And right
the thing
now,
was,
we seem to
what
be-
what brought it about that one time was after. It was here. It was in the material plane, but it was after your trip in the Feywild. And it was
Yeah, because we were
after-
like at the inn or something.
Well, no, it wasn't after your trip in the Feywild. It was on one of the first days you got back from Ebon. And then, so, at the time, it was thought to be something more, like, elements of exhaustion from being up in Ebon for so long, or other such things. You went through a bit to figure out whether or not he was cursed or not. You deemed that he was not cursed, but there was still something wrong. Just not sure what. And yeah, it was a plot thread that was there that's still a potential something.
we just don't have the means to address it at present.
Right. And that's essentially what you were told by Kelethir, is based on him asking his deity, there is something that you potentially could do about it, but at the current moment you're not equipped enough to do so.
$50 says that said thing we are technically capable of doing is slapping Dahlia's shit into non-existence.
Well,
What y'all want to bet?
I mean, would that be related? You don't necessarily know if that's the case.
I'm assuming that it's related, because all that shit started while we were in the Feywild, where our big bad is kind of rooted, so...
We will see.
We shall. I look forward to inevitably being proven very, very wrong. That's just how this shit works, you know? I come up with great ideas, and they're really cool sounding in my head, and then I'm wrong.
It's alright.
Sky wrings its hands togetger menacingly.
This is why I don't speculate on video game shit, man. I'm always wrong. Everyone is always wrong.
Anyway, so yeah, I still worry about Noro. He shouldn't be allowed to regroup in the one layer he has left.
This is a good point. Leaving an enemy time to regroup is unwise.
We'll get more of that plan whenever Riven returns. We'll see what.
Would probably be for the best to not leave that sitting for too long, at any rate.
So eventually, Riven, unless that conversation. Eventually,
All I can say is look at how much we were able to discuss simply from Locke asking someone what their favorite color is and why.
yeah, and you hadn't even done that with Cad yet.
Yeah, maybe. I'm just amazed at how well that works for getting a conversation going.
Icebreakers.
It's staggering how well it works.
Icebreakers, they're important.
Yeah.
So eventually, again making her way back to her shack of a home, backtracking more from the steps that she was. Still hasn't noticed you because incredible health rolls.
Yay!
You see that she has swapped from carrying fabrics to carrying small little packages, very easily be food, and she makes her way back into her.
I'm going to walk up to her before she gets in.
Just kind of come from the shadows, like hi.
Yeah, no, she just walks up. She's like, I'm not a people person.
Okay.
I don't know how to act.
What is your first your instigation for this conversation? What's your first thing that you hi?
Hi. Yes.
Dropping it back.
Oh no.
Oh no.
She doesn't bolt, she just jumps. Huh? Oh. Hi?
I'm sorry for earlier today. I really am. You just saying you don't look like the type that would that should have a weapon, but either way, here's some honey.
Awkwardness is awkward. Hooray.
Yeah, this is pretty much all she's been doing all day, being like, how do I approach this girl? What do I say? How do I be not threatening? And yeah, she's gonna give her all her gold.
All of it?
Yes, all of it.
How much gold is that?
226.
Jeez.
I suggest possibly going and learning your craft better, or learning a trade that you're interested in. I don't know.
I have. Thank you.
Okay, bye. Riven's just gonna take off.
That's it.
Social interaction. I can't deal with this. Run away.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All right. Well.
Riven is such a cinnamon bun. I swear to God.
I mean, it's a young girl. She sympathizes with the young girl. It's just like, yeah.
Yeah. That in no way invalidates the words I said. Riven is just such a massive cinnamon bun.
I mean, yeah, he kind of is. So yeah.
How do I people? I don't know.
You.
Oh God, that would just be the worst, wouldn't it? I just thought of something absolutely horrible.
Uh-oh.
Locke would not do this, because Locke is not a social type himself, but I just had the mental image of, what if Bjorn, in the spirit of building camaraderie and friendship and whatnot, decides, you know what? Let's just let's just have a social interaction exercise with Riven. just get more comfortable interacting with other people.
Hmm.
Am I supposed to do this? What? Look, this is... What?
Locke's in the background, just like, no, this is your lesson. I'm just observing.
Locke grabbed some donuts. I grabbed some popcorn.
Right?
Anyway,
I'm not a face here. Yeah.
we know. It's fine.
You're more innocent looking.
So, you hand off the gold, and then just sort of bolt, basically. And as you are starting to make your way away from Mara, how quickly are you moving? Like, you're not running away. You're just...
She's just like, keep doing like, I guess in a combat stance, she's like doing her double dashes.
Right.
Just like walking. Not sprinting, just walking.
Power walk.
Power walk. She is power walking.
Alright. So, you eventually make your way almost back to the tavern, down a couple streets, and you hear a slightly familiar voice in the form of the tiny gnome that you talked to briefly. Well,
Oh no.
that your friends talked to briefly. You just was like, nope.
Oh jeez, okay.
And she's like,
What?
didn't expect that outcome. Okay.
Were you just following me?
Nope.
What?
So this is the part where you say I don't need an insight check to know that's bullshit.
You find that she's like,
What?
in the alleyway of the street you just passed, and sort of just leaning up against the wall.
Like, did she actually call out to Riven?
As you were starting to run past.
Riven's just going to stop and be like, are you spying on people?
What's that matter? Weren't you doing the same thing a bit ago?
I was calculating a situation and attempting to figure out how I should approach this young girl. What? But either way, what situation did you foresee would happen?
I don't know. I knew you were going to... I assumed, based on how you were acting, that you were going to talk to her briefly. You would probably give her something to help her. Maybe money, maybe
Which I did, so technically I guess you were right, so you somewhat saw it?
I didn't expect you to give her all of your gold.
That wasn't all my money.
No, it was all your gold, though, wasn't it?
How would they know?
How would you know? Exactly. Like, what kind of eyesight do you have? Riven's like super suspicious now, like, what?
They're just like,
Oh no, you're
good.
you're weird. I'm going now.
They're just like, the more you know.
God damn it.
So you say you're weird and you begin to walk away?
Yeah, Riven takes a moment to sit there and try to think of another thing to say about her, but then she just like gives up and be like, "You're weird. Goodbye."
Obvious statement of the century is obvious.
Alright. So you walk away. As you walk away, go to waves. Bye.
Yeah.
Ah. That's a noise.
So, Riven, you make your way back to the rest of your party. Guys have been probably in the tavern. Perhaps there's an icebreaker conversation of what is Cad's favorite color. I don't know if you want to go that route or not, but you could if you. Otherwise, Riven is going to come in and join the rest of you.
All right. Hi. I was wondering where you were.
I had to do something.
Yeah, I believe you. Did it go well at least?
I mean, I'm poorer now, so yes.
We're in. Okay. Locke's just gonna.
What?
No, never mind.
What?
Dragon debt.
That's not my debt. Don't worry, I still got money.
Okay.
Speaking of that, I think
Yeah, what
Yeah.
all do we have to liquidate?
Stuff and things.
I mean, I got this rock that I need to take somewhere, and then got a bag of gems that we can go give to coins.
Let me check my inventory. I got 20 gold worth of gems. I could shove in there.
I like that episode title. Depending on what else happens in the session, maybe.
Oh shit! I still have like a suit of pretty leather armor, a magical dagger. Then I'm pretty sure I haven't identified either of those things. Maybe we could sell some shit.
Did get a magical dagger.
I forget. Did I ever?
Yeah.
One other thing. I forget. Did I ever give that vicious battle axe for Riven to Riven?
Yes.
Okay, because it's still in my inventory, so I'll just remove that now. I also have that old cursed crossbow that I don't use. Could sell
Actually,
that to
that's in the
someone.
bag of holding.
All right.
Because we put it in there for you not to deal with.
Okay. I'm just thinking like
Don't
maybe
have
there might be stuff we can sell to just help bolster our moolah a bit. I have that old flute and scepter from like the dancing goblin thing.
That was a million years ago. Yeah.
It was. I took those things and then I never found a use for them. I have an arcane history book. I have Noro's spell book and his journal.
I want to keep those.
Yeah, I'm not selling. Well, the spell book maybe whenever we kill him. Keeping the journal though. I have a restraining order against Grom.
Yep.
The only thing of any potential value that Cad has that he could possibly sell is his entertainment hat, which he sort of nervously is like holding on to.
Hold on to that. That's a magical item. We hold on to those.
He relaxes visually, just.
Let's see. In the bag of holding, we have a full plate of armor, green and blue gems, the cursed crossbow, a shield ? Armor ? Boots ? A smith hammer, a gith translator, and a longbow.
The armor, shield, and smithing hammer you had actually pulled from Ulara when you had initially fought her,
Oh, okay.
and she.
Oh, didn't
Use it-
she?
It would
Then
be
where did I
reason-
get these boots from? Because I have a boots question mark.
Yeah, those were hers too.
Okay, I guess we would give those back.
Could have. You wouldn't necessarily have to. She wouldn't have asked for them back.
Do we want to give those back or do we want to sell them?
Could be
Okay,
something-
I went
Could be
I went
something to
ahead
sell.
I went ahead and did up the list of the things that I want to either liquidate or sell. Put them in the chat. The 20 gold worth of gems. My scrolls of web and spike growth. I'm probably not going to get any use out of those. At least not much that would be worth it. The flute and scepter from the dancing goblin. An arcane history book on the Feywild. I don't think there's much more I can get out of that. A magic dagger and a suit of pretty leather armor that I don't remember where I got it from. I'm pretty sure it's enchanted, but it might not be. I don't know. I
Okay.
generally don't remember where I got either of those things.
What are you currently equipped with as armor? Studded leather?
Yes.
Got the studded leather in a bond. Pretty leather armor was probably what you started with.
I started with like baggy clothes over basic leather. It was not pretty.
Okay, well then the pretty leather armor was something else. Fair enough.
That's why I said I don't remember where I got it.
Okay, so what's Bjorn currently equipped with as armor?
Breastplate.
Want full plate?
I would not say no.
Full plate.
Full plate. Just. plus
There's
that.
nothing magical about it, so
There doesn't need to be.
yeah.
It will most definitely boost your AC because I think full plate is 18.
Yeah, but there's a disadvantage on stealth that you have to keep in mind always.
It's true.
So, give up stealth for higher AC, or keep lower AC to keep stealth.
Hmm.
It's more fun to be noticed.
No, it's not.
To be fair, we do have a cleric in the group who I'm pretty sure can cast Pass Without a Trace, right? Or am I
I can cast
misremembering?
Pass without a trace.
So yeah, we have people who can cast the "fuck you" or "sneaky" spell. So
And
Mhm.
honestly, as much
That
as
still
Bjorn
doesn't
drinks,
account for whether or not they get a crit. Oh, no, never mind.
as much as Bjorn drinks, he should not be sneaking anywhere.
yeah,
That's a fair point.
yeah,
So-
fair enough.
Oh,
Bjorn,
Fair enough.
Bjorn, full
Bjorn.
plate.
question.
Full plate. Yes.
This is a question of specific, like, I guess technically etiquette and semantics. You should have, if you picked it up, because you're the one that was seeing it, because you did the killing blow. When you fought the genie that you referred to as
Sheep.
sheep, you got a wineskin and like metal bracer. They're like cufflinks, basically, kind of like metal
Mhm.
cufflinks. And a tuning fork that was from him. Hopefully, somebody's put that in inventory because that's something you would have.
In which person's inventory? Bjorn's?
Bjorn saw it, but then seeing that things could be magical, he pushed it over to Locke, and so I don't know if either one of you would have picked them up. But that would be something that you have.
Pretty sure I've had both of these things in my inventory since before then. Feels like it, at least.
And then
I do have an ornate wineskin,
that's the one. Yep.
so I kept that.
Did Bjorn in all of his like bits in the tavern, because he doesn't have like kegs of ale that he carries or anything.
You would
No,
like to, I
Jim.
bet.
Well, he's gonna need to buy a wagon first.
Whenever you
Oh,
go
wait.
to
No, sorry, go on. I'll finish that thought later.
whenever you go to a tavern, do you ever use that ornate wineskin to drink?
No, not at the tavern. Drinking on the road, though.
There is a very special, very specific thing about that wineskin. I'll tell you later.
Okay.
You might want to keep it.
I'm keeping it.
I feel like it's something that Bjorn theoretically could get excited about, but he might not tell people outright because they might worry about him.
What is it, like bottomless?
It's enchanted wineskin for endless ale.
Oh, Bjorn's never gonna be sober again.
He might not have noticed, but that is a thing he would have.
Well, I guess next time on the road, he'll notice, hey, this doesn't feel at all empty.
Yeah.
This doesn't feel empty. Oh, it like turns it upside down and just starts.
Shall we say
They're
that
going to drown.
He decides to just chug until it's empty.
If he thinks mayonnaise, is mayonnaise going to come out?
no?
I hope not. That'd be really unfortunate.
It is worth noting.
Warm mayonnaise.
I find it funny that he picks up this enchanter of endless ale when what he was going to get from Ilara was an enchanter of endless water.
Right?
Endless water? As in the alcoholic version.
No, not the alcoholic version.
Oh.
Although.
But anyway, yeah.
That's a wondrous item.
So you have, and the tuning fork was shadowy and dark, for what it's worth. So it wasn't just a plain tuning fork. You may have a plain tuning fork in your inventory from like your initial gear, but you wouldn't have one for any specific purpose other than it's a tuning fork. But yeah, so you can sell things. There's plenty of shops in town. Who's leading the charge to find a place to sell things?
How about Kadruil? He's the most bureaucratic of us. For some reason, it just feels like he'd be a good fit.
In theory.
I mean, I heard.
In that case,
I'll volunteer Cad then.
In that case, then, Kenneth, I want you to roll for me a D8.
2.
Alrighty. So you will. Once you make your way into the business district, which Oak can sort of lead the charge a bit to find it, and so could theoretically other people on the party that have been here before. You find your way to a sort of more business section, the same area that Mara was in earlier today, and you will find what amounts to a magic shop, or an enchanter's shop of sorts.
This is in the northwestern corner, right?
Yeah. This is like.
Isn't this also the city where Entertainment Hat was originally acquired?
Yes.
Yes.
So, specifically not that shop.
Yeah, let's stay away from that shop.
Why do you think I had you roll a D8?
Oh no.
For the first shop you would find.
Well, let's see what kind of shop we found.
Instead, you find a shop going inside. The shop owner appears to be, let's say they are a, gnomish, gnome. And he's sort of got this, like, red, vaguely Scottish-inspired beard and hair. And he's, sort of sees this large party and remembers some of you from the party prior. What do I owe the pleasure? Hello.
Yeah, we were hoping to possibly peddle some wares.
Leave some stuff.
Seasoned, somewhat veteran adventuring party peddling wares at my little shop? Sure. Alright, what you got?
We go through the menu and we sell everything that seems like a good price.
Oh, words so easy.
I mean, not Bjorn. Cad is somewhat bureaucratic, but I don't know if Cad is a decent haggler.
Oh no.
Seems like the type that would be more like, oh, this is the price that this normally is? Okay, here you are. But the best haggle he's going to do is make sure somebody doesn't rip you off.
If it's something that I would potentially have any sort of insight into, I'd probably be all over that, because I walk up to people, hi, you've never met me before, want me to balance your books? But if it's something I wouldn't have insight to, then obviously, whatever.
So, do we want to focus on just selling the list of items that Brian has listed there? From anybody else want to sell anything to add?
I want to add the longbow to that. Do we want to try to sell the magic curse crossbow?
What does that do again?
Evil.
All we know is that it's curse and the name is Balov.
Oh yeah, that one. Right. For some reason, I heard longbow, not crossbow.
Oh, I have a longbow too that we can sell.
Okay.
And there's green and blue gems and my bag of 20 gold's worth of gems. And my giant rock.
I got a rock.
I got a rock. I found it in a mine.
Oh,
It has some color to it.
It's a very expensive gem. It's great. Let me double check.
Would it be a bad idea to try and sell the warhammer that was standard equipment for the guard?
It probably would have a Caverton Loxodon insignia on it. And based on
not a good idea.
Based on you wanting to sort of guise that you're from Iban previously, you would probably think to not sell that, because if you're wanting to not have been from here, then that would be a dead giveaway.
Yeah. Well, I have a normal, not envious magical maul. My previous weapon from this. I don't need a normal one and a special one. I could get rid of the old one.
And that's different from your Warhammer.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
I have envy, I have a maul, and I have a warhammer.
Alrighty.
I need 3 weapons. 3 two-handed weapons. Unless I can dual wield two-handed weapons.
Alright. So, and you guys have been keeping track of all the inventory that you guys picked up, and Oak doesn't really have anything on him that he would sell. So, assuming you guys don't want to do any haggling for specifics and just for sake of expediency, you will be looking at, let's see, so, books in Loxodon times 2.
I have 2 books in Loxodon. I think they were from somebody's library.
Yeah, they were. They were from the magical library. They're Loxodon books that are not in Loxodon, oddly enough.
Gotcha.
So, for all of your items, Locke, you are sitting on a grand total of...
I hope a lot of money.
It amounts to 547 gold.
Ooh.
Assuming you don't want to try to haggle a price, or turn it into anything that isn't gold.
Remind me how much we need to pay in platinum again?
The last one was 80 platinum, I believe. And then...
And 20 could be in,
20
loose
could
change.
be in gold. 20 could be in other things. So 20 platinum worth in other things could be done.
Alright, how much of this particular bout of stuff could this particular merchant, would he be at all capable of doing, substituting some of that gold for plat, or would I have to go to a bank for that substitution?
How much are you going to ask for? To substitute that. He could do some, but he could not do even half of it feasibly. But whether or not he's willing to do what he could do is the important part.
Just tell him that you take big bills.
We're just gonna wipe this poor man out of his like spare change that he used from day to day.
I don't know. Maybe like 10 coins of it if he can. It'd be like 1/5 of, or like some number. I don't know.
Roll persuasion.
All right, roll persuasion. Luckily, I
Bjorn,
have
pour him a drink. Sell him drinks.
26.
Oh wow.
Because persuasion's actually one of my good ones.
Okay, so you were getting a grand total of 547 gold.
Yeah.
And you will get 10 platinum out of that, dropping the 547 to 447. So 447 gold and then 10 platinum.
Nice. All right, 447 gold, you said?
Yep.
Awesome. I'm not totally broke anymore.
Alrighty, Riven's turn.
I now have 531 gold pieces, so I'm set at least for a little bit as far as basic spending money is concerned.
Alright, so Riven, what do you have? Your thing of gems, which was the same 20 gold's worth of gems that Locke had. You're not selling the cursed crop. You have a bag of 20 gold's worth of gems, and then cursed crossbow that you're not going to sell, green and blue gems that you haven't looked into, and a longbow, and then a big rock. You're not going to be able to get this from the same guy. He sees the kind of stuff that you're trying to sell, and he's like, "Yeah." He sort of looks,
much for him.
Sort of looks to Locke. As much as you're good kid, sort of confused on how you have so much stuff, but venturing parties.
You said it yourself. Relatively seasoned adventuring party.
Yeah.
Shit tends to happen around us.
Fortunately, I don't have the funding to do that a second time. Especially not with that, as he points to Riven's big red rock.
What's wrong with my big red rock?
Is its name Clifford? That might be a clue.
I was thinking that, but my mouth was full of food.
What's wrong with my big red rock?
Know what that's worth? More than I have.
That's when he's like, "Do you know what that's worth? Here, I'll give you 5 plat."
Okay. Is there someone I can take it to then that might have it?
Oh, I have just a place for that.
Where?
Guy that's all about his gems.
No.
Does the tab say that?
Where is he at?
You'll find him a couple streets down. It's a jewel crafter.
The
Dazzling
jewel
tiara.
Dazzling tiara. Okay.
Is that the place?
Yes, that's why I said no.
Yep.
Riven doesn't know that.
Then where can I wait, is this a magic shop?
This is, yes. Where you are now? Yes.
What can I get for this crossbow and this bow? As in like a trade. Do you want to trade? I can trade.
Wait a minute.
What?
Can I see that crossbow?
Sure.
He grabs it and bolts.
Hey!
Oh, I get it. Fuck you.
Ha. Nice joke. Ha. I hadn't given you all of my... Alright.
Hey, I said I'm willing to trade. Are you trade?
Sort of looks at Riven.
You know, we're venturing parties. We could probably use some healing. If you have some.
Alright. here, and he drops a like a small, not small. He drops a pouch of what essentially looks to be potions of some persuasion.
You were going to say he drops a pouch of 40 gold worth of gems.
I mean, that would be really nice, but
Which
They
is
look
fine.
oddly familiar, like the ones we just gave.
Actually, he does bring out a bag of gems that may include the ones you just gave him.
It's fine. I'm gonna go see a person about gems in a bit. So,
So Riven, if you pick up the bag of potions, you will have you can put into your inventory specifically 2 standard potions of healing, a greater healing potion,
ooh, always handy.
and your 4th 2 potions of healing, a greater healing potion, and you don't know what they do, but they are potions that look kind of like healing potions. They're just different colors. Potion A and B.
Are these going to
Potion
kill us?
A,
I'm not actually asking that out loud.
potion B.
So 5
These
potions.
3 look like healing. What are these?
Favorite recipe of mine. It's worth it, trust me. You also
That
have
answer
Okay.
filled me with concern.
Well, you can have the crossbow. What about this? Or do you want? He'll take the longbow with it as well, right?
Oh, do you want to give me the longbow for what I gave you? And yeah, sure.
Well, I was just saying, it's like no, because Riven had put the crossbow and the bow up together,
Right.
and so she was possibly thinking like all these potions are including the longbow.
Yep.
Okay, so that's gone. Well,
Alright, so we no longer have to worry about a battle-crazy cursed crossbow that's been fuming in our bag of colding for months.
Holding, not holding.
Like, we've had that thing for
Alright.
how long? And it's just been sitting there being like, come on, I want to punch something, guys!
Yeah, and you just gave it to
It's
somebody.
just like-
It's gonna be great.
hello.
There'll be no ramifications for this later at all.
And hey, at this point, it's no longer our property.
So, are we gonna sell anything else? Because I'm gonna go to the gem guy. Okay.
Assuming that Cad would know where it came from, and so would you, Locke, you would probably stay behind or stay away.
Yeah. Yeah. If I'm anywhere near it, I will pop mask of many faces to make myself look like, I don't know, like a Goliath midget.
A very young
A Goliath with dwarfism.
Alright, so,
Alright, let's make our way to.
the Dazzling Tiara.
Well, did Cat sell his stuff?
I'm going to assume if Cad's Kenneth is on a bathroom break at the moment.
Yeah.
But I would assume he might use his hat, or he will.
Is anyone not telling Riven that they don't want to go to the shop?
Yes, Kadruil would definitely mention.
That we have a bit of a problem there.
What do you
so
mean?
you know this hat that I have, it's from him.
Okay, and how is that a problem?
We kind of nicked it.
How it was acquired, yeah.
You nicked it.
I remember at the time there was a very good reason for it, but Brian cannot, strictly speaking, remember it right now.
Yeah,
At this
I don't
point,
remember exactly, but yeah, that.
At this
We
point,
had a reason.
you do have your reason, and the person who will remember that reason much better is right here with the party. Oak speaks up, and he's like, "Yeah, you remember Gretchen, my little gnome
Yes.
sister with the blue hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is her uncle, and he's an asshole. That's why you stole him.
Okay.
Or at
But
least
it
part
still
of the
doesn't
reason why you started.
explain why. Okay. So,
Well,
why
Cad
did
needed,
you
Cad needed the ability to disguise himself easily.
what?
We've told
Just
Riven of the things
Riven-
that happened while she wasn't here,
Yeah.
right? We've told
Yeah,
her.
that's what I'm trying to figure out. It's like, did you guys actually tell her that you broke Cad out of jail?
I think you might have at one point.
I'm pretty sure we did. That's not something we'd hide.
Right, okay. And be like, so you needed the hat of disguise to go back into Caberton?
It was a very, very weird time.
But that aside, if we all stay back and you go in mostly by yourself, or maybe with Bjorn, he'll have nothing to worry about. He won't know you're there. He doesn't know you're associated with us necessarily. I don't think. Wait a minute, party. Hold on.
Cat sort of takes a post outside the main entrance door. Wait, why is this deja vu?
She's probably like, fine, I'll go in by myself. You guys
No,
can just
take
wuss out.
Bjorn
could go.
with you, just so you're not solo.
Bjorn might as well. He likes gems. They're pretty.
Every
Yeah.
time she
Sure.
passes one across the counter, Bjorn's like, "That's a very nice gem you just acquired. I'll give you this much gold for it.
Sure.
Just make sure it's always less than what he just sold it for, and then pass it straight back to Riven to re-haggle."
Yeah, that would not work without some very impressive magic influence. It would be hilarious, because this guy is a massive asshole, but...
Have an initial price for that ruby, Sam? I don't remember.
Yeah, it's 3,000 gold.
Okay.
Oh, damn.
Yeah,
Making
it's a
sure.
nice big hunk of rock.
Alrighty.
Gonna be a heist.
So Bjorn and Bjorn and Riven are going in, and everyone else is staying outside.
And I look like a Goliath twink.
All right. Are you using the entertainment hat there, Cad?
Sure.
What guise will you take?
I don't think I ever actually used it right after getting it here, so I guess, Shadowgrass?
Sure.
He doesn't
Huh.
look any kind of inconspicuous at all. Okay.
Sure.
All right. So with that, you two are going to stay outside with Hollis and Oak. Oak is going to stay back. He has no handy-dandy way to change what he looks like, so he is just going to hide.
Actually, can I do something with Hollis?
Okay.
Okay, when we go in there, it's like, I would say, like, Bjorn goes in first, then Riven. I want Hollis just to sit in the doorway with his head in the door.
Okay.
That is adorable, and I approve.
Yeah, just in there waiting and just, like, looking around inside, like, what's going on?
All right then.
No. Hey.
Alright, so yeah, you walk inside. And the two of you will walk into the shop. It looks like a typical sort of jewel crafting shop. It's got like display cases, ornate jewelry, and all sorts of fancy, fitting to the name, the dazzling tiara. And behind the counter appears to be a sort of, we'll say, appears to be a middle-aged halfling. Welcome, hello. What can I do you for?
Got some gems to sell? And
Really?
this rock.
Hey, now, okay. Look, can I see that?
Suspiciously hands it over.
I don't have a pun for that one.
I'm watching it.
Alrighty. He will sort of, he has the, like, jewel crafter kit, like, eye magnifying glass type thing, and he's... This is quite the find. Where'd you get this?
I found it in a mine.
Really? A mine here?
No, up north.
Interesting. Okay. You're handing off all these gems to me then.
Yes. Because we need some golden money.
Alright. 2,000 gold for the whole lot. Or perhaps you would like platinum instead. You said you were looking for money. Are you bigger
Sure.
on platinum?
It doesn't matter to me.
Fine, 100 plat.
That would be great, but no.
Like 1 for 5 or 2 for 20.
So how about we do... Yeah. How about we do 500 gold and then 200 platinum. Sound good?
That sounds better.
Better. Trying to intimidate or persuade, Riven? How are you wanting to approach this haggle?
She's just gonna look at him and be like, "You're not trying to sell me short, are you?" 19?
Oh. No, of course not. He sort of eyes your axes and your, like, heavily armored bodyguard, effectively. And crazy dog.
He's just sitting there kind of like just panting. It's like tongue out lolling. It's just like, I'm having fun.
Of course not. No. So we will do 500 gold, 200 platinum. Unless you want a little more. I can do you a little more. 700 gold, 200 platinum. Sure.
Alright.
Alright. He will sort of make do with like a little, sort of like safe, effectively. Bjorn and Riven, give me a perception check. 10. Okay, 11. There it is. What's Bjorn's thoughts on this transaction?
I don't know if Bjorn really knows enough about the value of gems to have a strong opinion on it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
There wasn't a lot of
Could I
heavily gemmed mines, but you could roll a history, I suppose.
I was gonna say if I could like roll an insight check to see if I could figure out
Or
if this
insight,
guy is
yeah.
being straight with us. Yeah,
Or insight, yeah, that would work as well. 14.
that's 14.
You don't know if, like as you said, you don't really know the value of gems per se. And you get the vibe that this guy is, based on how your friends were acting and rolling an insight of 14, he might not be the most forward person. He might be a little shifty, kind of obvious, at least a little bit. Whether or not he's being shifty with your deal, this deal in particular, kind of hard to tell. Seems as though Riven's gotten to him at least a little bit, that her more intimidating presence has made him be a little less shifty, perhaps.
Yeah, and she already accepted the coin, so.
That's
Yeah.
true too. Alright. So you have in your inventory possession now, Riven, all of said money. What was it? 700 gold and
700 gold, 200 plat.
quite a bit of money there.
Yeah, after I just gave 200 gold away.
Right, so that should at least keep us from dying of debt for a little bit.
Indeed.
Like honestly, I keep forgetting that this is an RPG and that in RPGs selling shit works.
Yes.
I keep forgetting because I'm usually more invested in like the character interactions over like the finances. So when there's, so when when this sort of stuff occurs, it's not really on my list of priorities.
Yep. shopping episode. It's a thing, but in this case, reverse shopping episode.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Let's just clear shit out of our inventories that we don't need. Yeah. That's basically what it's
So I guess Riven will make her way out to the group and be like, I don't see what your problem is. Sure, he seemed like kind of shifty guy, but... Right, so we have money.
We have moolah.
Do you want to pass that gold through to the dragon then, Dewey?
Would probably be a good idea to do that before said dragon, whose name I forget, gets
Aza.
antsy with us. Aza, thank you.
She's gonna be like, good, right on time. By the way, your next installment.
I mean,
Who knows?
that's probably what's going to happen, but at least we don't get her angry at us for missing a payment.
Well, she hasn't told us a due date. So are we really missing it?
I don't want to take chances with the giant, How old is this dragon? Is this like an ancient or old or what?
She was
Doll.
of the she wasn't quite of the ancient variety, I don't think, but she was well past the adolescence. She was an adult dragon at the very least, if not.
Yeah, I don't think we're in any. We can tango with an adolescent. I think we've done it, but
Adult
we're
dragon,
still. Yeah.
Adult dragon might be a bit tougher to deal with.
Yeah, and an adult dragon might be a bit outside of our wheelhouse still. And plus, it's a good aligned dragon, and we need all the help we can get whenever we get around to, busting our buddy out. So.
Yep.
Yep.
Hopefully, all of that goes well. We will see.
Yeah. So, alright, let's make a payment.
Yep.
Who's putting up how much?
I can cover. How much was it again? Just one last time.
It's
80 gold,
platinum.
or 80 platinum.
No, 80 platinum.
80 platinum, 20 platinum of which could be not platinum if required.
And how much gold
Like-
would that 20 be?
Like, I have set aside in the bag of holding 410 gold pieces for the dragon. So that's could be accounted for like 40. So we'd use 20, like 200 gold pieces.
Yeah, Locke will contribute the 200 gold pieces for that part. Just on the grounds that, he doesn't have enough plat to cover the whole thing, but he definitely has a surplus of gold going right now, so he'll blow the bit of gold on for that. So I'll chip in 200 gold.
And I guess Riven will give the 60 platinum.
All right.
All right, let's go get some more loot to hawk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Riven just comes out and just like hands you a handful of platinum. Just like, here you go.
Alrighty. So all payment has been made.
Yep.
Platinum has been sent.
We didn't even have to rob a bank.
Nope.
Not this time.
Not this
Alrighty.
time.
So now what?
Give
are
it
we
a
gonna do?
minute. Well, I guess we
Who
should.
knows? She might contact us again today. Who knows?
Guess our next objective is just to go take down the next of Noro's bases, isn't it?
Which is
I don't remember where it is. I think it's like we don't have the world map up, so I can't refresh my memory either.
It's up to the north.
I know that at least. Yeah.
So, well, we do, and then Oak speaks up. Well, you did get insight that Ulara was finished with the gear that you had asked for, the items and things. And you are still wanting to speak to your dad.
Mm-hmm.
So, in light of that, I think our next step is to go towards Fumak and Ulara. And then from there, Yukiegi, and then from there we can go to Nora's lair and maybe finally nip this in the bud, especially if we got some extra gold that can help us out.
Was there a shop or something where I could sell them all and a couple of books?
Yeah. There could be another place where you could do that. If all you're selling is the mall, just sort of a base mall, wasn't it?
Yeah. I know it's not going to be much, but
Yeah.
whatever it is.
You're looking at about 3 gold for said mall.
Okay. Are the Loxodon books worth anything?
They're in a random other language and interesting. Who you find them to give them to is like, who would write a books for Loxodon in? All right then. A little odd. We can do about 5 gold for said books. Sure.
Yay. Okay. Thank you.
Yep. Anything that Bjorn wanted to sell?
No. Everything he has on him of value is something he either needs or still wants to look at.
Alrighty. So, from there, you guys will begin your, assuming now your little mini shopping spree in the later part of the afternoon. It's now probably getting close to like 7 or 8, so it's getting dark, or is dark. Do you want to begin your trek to Fumak during the day? Probably tomorrow, perhaps? Or do you want to start your trek as quickly as possible and travel at night?
So let's leave the trek in the morning. Start it
Yeah.
in the morning.
Yeah, probably for the best.
And get rolling just after breakfast.
Alrighty. You guys can still go to the Sparkling Wishes. You still have your inns and towns there. The hope was you'd stay for a couple days. You kind of did. So you sort of had a payment for your inn stay. Those of you who weren't going to stay somewhere else. Bjorn. And from there, you will make your way the following day.
Woo!
To travel. Early up next morning, you get your quick breakfast, and you will begin making your trek to Fumak. Now, how do you want to get there? You have 2 differing paths to go. We are now on a map.
We swim.
We fly.
I mean, you've never been
The
into this
bird
water.
way.
Well, we know. Is Locke's dad possibly still down in Damapur?
I don't know.
He had told you that he was going to make his way up to Yukiyegi. It was implied that he is going to be in Yukiyegi when you get there.
Okay, so attempt to hold his promise.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we still need to go and get that stuff over by Fumak.
Yep.
The good news is if we take a boat across Carafil Shallow, we probably won't end up in another continent.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. Well, let me just do some measurements here, just following the road. If we went all the way up there and did that, that would
Well, the
be
thing is, we could
8
probably
days
have
of
to
travel.
cross over here,
Yeah,
close
that'd be,
towards the mountains.
yeah, that would be between 7 and 8 days of travel, whereas going from there, hitting Damapur, it'll just be less time in general if we take the southern route.
Okay. Then let's
Isn't
do
it
that.
fun how maps work?
Yeah.
Yes.
Alright. So you're going to go the southern route and go around that way.
Yep.
Whee!
Alright. So, any particular conversations that want to be had along the way, now that things are getting going. Bjorn, you will now realize, if you hadn't before, your ale is endless in that wineskin you have.
As
Oh no.
you guys are making your way up the road, you just notice two things about Bjorn as he rides upon Rupert's back. The first is that he seems decidedly more cheerful than usual. The second, he keeps falling off of Rupert.
Like the
Are
third,
you okay?
like the third time he falls off. Dude, what gives?
And he's
I have
like,
discovered
Glorious.
a wondrous treasure. He holds up the ornate wineskin, and he holds it upside down and lets ale start pouring out, and he's like, look, no matter how much leaves, there's more.
Oh God, he's drunk.
What happens if Bjorn just squeezes the wineskin? Just like,
comes out a little bit faster.
It will, yeah.
and now there's just like a increasingly large puddle of ale in the middle of the road.
Should we take that away from him?
I don't want to make him angry with us. Is the thing.
Here, let's try something. That's really cute. Cool, Bjorn. Can I try it?
He's suspicious.
Come on, you're having so much fun with it. At least let us have some fun.
Yeah, don't be a party pooper.
That's a good point. It would be rude not to
Save me some.
Give me a Constitution save or two, Bjorn. We'll say 2.
2, okay.
Jesus Christ.
I'll just do it as an advantage roll so we get both
Yeah, that's
results
fine.
at once.
A 9
Okay.
and then a 17. Oh boy.
So yeah, you're befitting of your personality. There is how you were taking it. You're pretty drunk. You're not necessarily wasted or anything. You still have at least some wits about you. It's just basic ale. It's not anything super fancy.
He felt the effects fast and then sort of stabilized.
Something like that, yeah. It's also that there's a lot of it. So, being that Bjorn is the type of character that would drink on a consistent basis, I don't feel like, unless it was a strong ale, like water, or strong alcohol or whatever, I don't think that, like, a consistent, but not necessarily constant, drinking of said thing would completely, utterly thrash him.
We should totally fashion up a sippy hat so as we're walking down the road he could just grab a sip whatever he wants one.
Bonus points if we can get the sippy glasses.
Oh, jeez.
I've already got like the night goggles I'm wearing all the time. We just gotta find a way to modify them.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oak will sort of step up next to him and he's like, Bjorn, I know
Yes.
you kind of had some stuff go on recently, but you want to be a little bit more coherent to help out, right? Well, we're traveling now, sure, so it's not got much to worry about, but don't
Bjorn.
lose yourself in that, maybe?
You see him sort of slip the wineskin back into his pack. He's like, very good. But once we set camp, all bets are off.
That is a fair compromise.
Okay.
Fair enough.
So Bjorn does not get watch rotations.
But he does. Just make sure it's the first one. Or the last.
Riven gets last, so he gets first.
Alright.
Actually, no. That's what this does. What this does is we had initially had the thought of, like, when we were doing watches, of Riven was always last, Locke was always in the middle, and then Oak would go usually with Kat or Bjorn, and then it's whichever way Cat or Bjorn wanted to go. So if Bjorn always goes first now, Oak can always go with Bjorn to offset, because perception of yes, and then Cad's always with Locke. That sets up our watch order more consistently.
Nice.
Perfect.
Yeah, works for me. So, you're making your trek along the road. We'll say, yeah, let's do a perception check from everyone, just to do your watches and other such things. Because you finally make camp for the night. Oh, hey!
Oh shit!
Oh shit!
You're not fully drunk yet, so and they got you to stop, so you don't have a disadvantage. That's great.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Let's do one for Oak, because crazy perception of huge. Whoosh.
Jesus.
Almost half again more than Bjorn's on Bjorn's crit, and he didn't even roll a crit.
It's some kind of silly.
Some kind of witchcraft. By the way, am I allowed to make any like modifications to the appearance of like the inside of the blanket of Constitution when it makes its pillow fortress thing?
As far as what persuasion, it forms whatever shape of something that you want. Like, it's, if you don't want it to be the library of your mother's library briefly, you can
I want to keep it as the library. I do want to keep it as the library, and I know this would only be made out of pillows, but I would like to see if I can add a portcullis to the front.
A portcullis made of pillows.
To the door, to the entrance.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Because like yeah. So Locke has a reason for that.
All right,
Okay.
then. Interesting.
So yeah, like as camp is getting set up for the night, and Locke throws out the big pillow house thing, he'll look at it for a second. Walk in. A couple seconds later, just a portcullis of blanket of pillows and blankets will just fall down from the top of the door.
And as it crashes into the ground, squeaky.
And I'd then Locke is sort of push it aside, because it's pillows and blankets. I'll kind of push it aside and poke his head out. Won't really do a whole lot, but it'll make me feel better, and then duck back in.
What?
Okay. So.
Riven is confused at this.
You
Visual.
should get ask him.
She's been sitting there going like, why?
Is she inside or outside? Because Locke went inside.
She stays outside with her puppy.
Right, so then in that case, Locke probably wouldn't have heard that, so...
Well, you stuck your head out.
Okay, fair enough. Well, the incident that spurred us on to contact you and like every other individual we've met under the sun started because an enemy was able to just walk in. I know this won't really do a whole lot to stop people from just walking in, even if we don't want them to, if they can get past our watch, but still.
Okay.
You make it feel like it's more secure, even if it's not.
Yeah, just... It helped me rest is all.
It's a safety blanket. Got it.
If you want to be patronizing about it, sure, yeah, we can call it that.
Well, that's the thing. It's a patchwork blanket that you make into a tent.
Yep.
That becomes a fortress.
Anyway, I mean, it is a very, very...
You want me to cast hideous laughter on you? Then I can do that.
You took it. Wait, does she know the story about you guys taking it from a kid?
Nope.
She does not know that it was given to us by a kid's mom who wanted their kid to stop fucking with it.
Okay.
Alrighty. Anyway, So yeah,
Security blanket. Should have seen that coming.
big enough perception rolls for everybody for this particular night. Um, everything is relatively calm and nice and
I
peaceful.
didn't roll a perception.
Oh yeah, you need to do that. And for Hollis.
15. It doesn't matter.
Nah.
Well, maybe.
Everyone got at least 15, so it's not too big a deal. And there's not really anything going on that can be heavily apparent and causing issues. You guys just would hear the various nature sounds of the local area going about. And so, Riven,
Yes.
you are going to get yourself another brief dream. Probably brief, considering how all your dreams usually go.
Okay, yeah. Am I outside or am I back in the tavern?
You're outside in a forest, in a very similar forest clearing that you ended up in.
Right, where I was surrounded by a bunch of people that was just yelling, "We are Legion."
Uh-huh. Roll me a d20. if
Yeah,
you
that's
would.
right. That's the thing that happened.
Oh no. Yeah. 2.
I love how you're like, 2. Alright,
2. 2.
I'm sorry, I sneezed. Oh, it's a 2. Was it just a straight D20?
Yeah, just a straight d20.
Okay.
Alright, so, you are in your little forest clearing, reminiscent of the clearing that you were in before when you were surrounded by a ton of voices. Being that Riven is the type to, generally not get lost in a forest, it's understandable if she would recognize a forest had she been in it before, and this is true here. And there's other various reasons why you would recognize this forest having been in it before. Yeah, this is that forest of creepy, a million people around you talking, and strangeness. You might have forgotten about it briefly.
Okay.
I don't know how.
Yeah,
Riven
because
died.
over a couple of days, Zax did not do anything.
Yep.
Nothing spoke to her.
So you are in this clearing. There's probably like a large stump in the center of it that you just find yourself awakening, sitting on, like it's a chair.
Okay.
So why'd you give all your money away? Stepping out from the forested clearing, you will see an elven man. Sort of brown, darker brown hair, piercing eyes, of a sort of blue-green persuasion. He looks to be like a wood elf, as opposed to like a high elf. And he's sort of just leaning against the tree that he stepped aside.
Great, a new one. Because I don't really have need for money.
What about your friend's debt?
Not my debt? I mean, if you saw me give money to the little girl, then you saw me give money to help him pay the debt, right?
Well, yes.
Okay.
He sort of gives you a bit of an appraising look, trying to not necessarily size you up per se, but
Riven
more.
will try to do the same, just like kind of size him up.
All right. Even though this is normally used to spot out a lie, this would be the other persuasion of how this kind of stat could be used. Give me an insight. 12.
Well, it just looks like a normal wood elf.
Well, in particular for Riven, since she's the hunter, warrior, fighter type character, he does look like somebody who could carry himself in a fight. You don't see any weapons on him, but he has a few, like, smaller scars, and Like he carries himself with a degree of pride, like that a warrior would. I'm just trying to figure you out. You're an interesting person. What's so special about that girl?
She had her village attack, and she didn't really have anyone living with her, so I felt sympathy towards her.
Okay. Makes sense. A caring sort for all of the, aggressive and awkward nature, huh? And what do you think of your blades, your axes? Of us? You sort of look up.
I mean, you guys are pretty okay.
You really don't understand magic, and you have so much potential in you.
Because because magic is complicated.
You do see when you use it, right? In a fight? Things just come
I mean,
naturally to you?
Yeah, pretty. Like I said, you guys are pretty okay.
So you're not gonna just throw the blades away because we scared you, right?
No?
Just thought I'd make sure. Some of us around are making a bet about it. Though, like you, we have no need for money in here.
Yeah, you're making bets. Yeah, that's nice to know. That betting on whether or not I'm keeping the axes.
I just hope you get a chance to get a killing blow soon. Makes things more interesting. And he just sort of vanishes into the forest.
Okay.
When you turn back from him vanishing away, you will see that there is a, it's an interesting looking little necklace that just is sitting on the stump. Like a little amulet.
She's curious about it. She'll go and poke it.
It's an amulet. It's a little necklace. Looks like it has a little locket or some form of a pendant attached.
Take a closer look then?
You look underneath, you look inside, and the pendant has what looks to be a somewhat crudely drawn sketch, because pictures don't exist in this world. A somewhat crudely drawn sketch of what could amount to a teenage elf. Female.
Okay.
And then as you look at the locket, and you're just standing there looking at it, if you're you hear the elf's voice again. You don't see him, but you hear him. If you could find her, tell her I had an honorable death. And you wake up.
Okay.
And when you awake, unlike before when you woke up from being inside the tavern and not having any ale, the necklace is in your grasp.
What?
Yep.
Wait, who's on watch?
Woken up.
Anyone on watch?
This would be the point when you're waking up for your watch, and it would be
Okay.
Bjorn. It would be Cad and Locke waking you up for your turn.
Okay.
So Cad, Locke, you two wake up Riven for her watch, and she seems mildly spooked.
You okay?
She holds up the amulet.
What the? Huh? Detect magic. Where'd that come from?
I don't know. I had a dream. It was in my dream, and now it's here. What happened to me?
Locke is going to detect magic on that fucking thing.
All right. It has. It does ping to be at least vaguely magical, though faintly. It's as if the magic is around it rather than in it or on it. Like, rather
So, like
than
the
being,
residue of its appearance, then.
like the residue of how it came into being rather than the magic of it. You get this. Actually, give me an Arcana roll to go along with it.
Okay, so wait. We've dealt. Oh no.
22.
Riven hasn't dealt with anything with Dahlia, has she?
Nope. Not really.
Okay, never mind.
22. Yeah. So it pings two specific spell schools, but with your Arcana of 22, you get the feeling that those spell schools are gonna fade pretty quickly, and then it'll just be a normal amulet after that. The spell schools being divination and necromancy.
Ooh. I will convey both of those things.
Riven doesn't know magic.
Okay.
Yeah, she's just like, okay, what? Okay, I know necromancy's bad.
Yeah, necromancy deals with stuff like eroding things, decomposition. The undead is like the big one that everyone gets upset about.
There's also
It deals with a lot of it deals with a lot of other stuff, but those things like that. As for divination, think of it like that's basically just you're spying on things or trying to ascertain information that would otherwise be.
Oh, like when I have voices in my head when I know like you aren't around me. She kind of like makes a gesture towards like, oh, Oak's not awake.
Nope.
No, like how Oak can talk to me in my mind even though he's like nowhere around me.
Would that count as divination? I'm not sure that counts as divination. I think that's a different
I think it
topic to call
actually
at school.
is. Let me double check.
Yeah, double check that.
I feel like it is.
Locke may not be a wizard, but he at least knows the theory.
I feel like it is. Pretty sure it is. No, it's. Oh, you're right. It's not. It's evocation.
Right, so yeah. No, not quite. More like a spell that lets you watch someone from a distance. Scrying. You're familiar with that one, at least, right?
No.
Okay. Simply put, divination
Locke,
is...
I don't do magic.
I get that. I'm just trying to think of a really simple way to explain it.
Look, I barely understood of how I was able to sit there and go to a different plane.
I still remember the chat we had about how those work.
Yes.
Anyways,
And I'm still confused.
It's all just one folded sheet of paper. Anyway, back on topic.
With a few pencil holes.
I got one. I got one for
What?
you. And Locke, with your Arcana roll, you would know it. There is a spell that's relatively low level that Riven uses a lot. That is divination.
What?
Which one is that?
Hunter's Mark.
That's divination?
Yep. Because divination, specifically, one of the big things to divination is knowing where something is, finding it. Hunter's Mark.
You actually use a divination spell all the time, actually.
I do?
Yeah, the one that lets you find things that we want to kill better.
Riven.
That's magic?
Yeah?
It's
You do have some weird magic shit you do from time to time. It just doesn't really.
Yes, and I don't understand it. It just happens.
Well, divination is just all about knowing things. It's all about knowing things.
Knowing things and finding things.
Knowing things, finding things, and spying on things.
Okay. So is this bad?
I don't know. What led to this? Was there like a funky dream? Things just appearing tend to.
No, I was just in a forest talking to a nice elf dude and stuff, and he asked me about some reasoning about giving some money away and stuff, and then all of a sudden he told me it's like, I saw this necklace, so I picked it up and looked at it, and he told me to go find her and tell her something. And that was it.
Okay, so what you're saying is there was a funky dream.
Yeah, it seemed kind of normal.
I think the presence of that, and I point at the necklace, is testament to the contrary.
And Cad, you're hearing this too. You're awake.
Can I open it up and see, is it the same picture?
Yep. It is the exact
Do I
same picture
recognize the girl? Have I met her before?
That would be a little bit too small world if you had already seen her before, so probably not.
Yeah. Okay.
What about me?
You actually have a better chance of doing it. Potentially.
Okay.
The wood elf.
It was a wood elf instead of... He was a wood elf.
Oh, what does the girl look like? Is it another wood elf? What, wood elf?
When fairly young like that, like a teen, and in a picture with no degree of real detail...
Oh, good point.
It's
Can't
kind of hard to tell.
Okay.
Locke, give me a... Trying to figure out if this would be just straight intelligence roll.
Wouldn't matter if it was intelligence or wisdom, they're both the same. 7!
Yeah, no.
Oh.
She doesn't seem familiar.
I was half expecting to be like, yeah, that's your half-sister, and I'd be like, what? Hold on a minute.
No. Yeah, you don't recognize her.
Well, at first I thought it was something to do with Cal, but then I was like, no, she's a half elf,
Yeah, it's not Cal.
and her dad is alive and well.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know anyone that can do this scrying? You said.
Does Oak know scrying?
No. Oak does not, but your mother does.
My mother knows the spell, so we can probably ask her to look
Okay.
into it when we get to Yukiegi.
Okay, let's continue. I guess is it?
This is your watch.
It's getting
That's
to
my
your
watch.
yeah.
Okay. Okay.
And
Go to
this
sleep.
this is why Riven's watches was on average lower than everyone else's.
Yay.
So yeah, your watch continues. It's pretty peaceful. Not a whole lot going on. And yeah, you will continue onward. Just for sake of expediency, I'm going to assume that there's not really any major discussions along the way. Are you going to actually go in and through Damapure, or you're going to go around?
Do we want to stop? Well, if we're assuming your Locke's dad is already up in Yukiegi, I guess we can just continue on.
There's also the
I
step...
mean,
Does that sound fine?
I figure we could just like cut through, but not stop for anything. You know, just like go through town, but just like we're just passing through. Don't mind us.
Yeah, just like wave, like hi people, bye people.
Yeah, just like use the chance to like passively see if people are around who should not be around here. And
If Alex is there, just be like, haha, you got your ass whooped.
if Dad is there, be like, why haven't you left yet?
Yeah. So you make your way through Damapure. No one really gives you any word or worry. You've been through town before, and you're already got the guise of like, you know, I'm just gonna go through town. We're just gonna pass on through. How strong is Riven's memory? Would that image of that little would that little elf sort of get imprinted in her mind because of the craziness, or is she gonna sort of?
I mean, she would look at it a couple of times and like check on it, like be like, "Is this real? Yeah, it's still real. Is this actually real? It is real.
It is still real, yes. It did not magically become fiction while I wasn't looking
I mean,
at
she's not gonna like properly wear it like an amulet. She'll probably like have it tied to her belt and stuff, so she can just like just
look at it
look
occasionally.
at the
Yeah.
picture.
Okay.
So,
Roll me a d20.
oh boy.
4. Okay.
4.
You I love how excited you were for that. That was kind of adorable. Anyway,
It's 2 higher than the last time.
Am I real?
Yeah, I'm
All right.
male.
So you pass through Dama Pure, nothing really major going on there. And you will make your way to about here, making your way across. I'm not going to worry about perception checks right now. And you are going to pass on through, make your way up, and I will do one more set of perception checks as you are up here for your next watch. So everyone,
Okay.
perception checks, hurrah.
14.
16 for Riven. Hollis doesn't see anything. No.
Hello.
Hello, Oak. Her all-seeing eye.
Yeah, really. So we established that that Oak is normally going to do his watches with Bjorn, if I recall. Bjorn, are you drinking from your wineskin tonight?
Well, of course.
Okay. Are you taking it slow with the intent to try to keep your wits about you? Are you going to? Do you think you're going
Yeah.
to? Okay.
No, Bjorn's not going to get shit-faced on his watch.
He's
He'll
still
wait till
pretty,
it's someone else's turn.
he's a pretty sensible fellow for that regard, then.
Yeah.
All right. So you and Oak are on your watch, and he's sort of just sitting beside you. You still drink, but you drink more responsibly, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oak
How
is
is your
looking
liver not dead yet?
magic.
Oh yeah, we got a healer.
So Oak is sort of reading through and looking through one of his books that he has. Perhaps the books that he grabbed when he was in the magical library, that he can conveniently still read. And he sort of stops and looks off to the side. That's weird.
What's weird? Bjorn also will look.
He points off to the lake up here. And when he indicates it for you, it is very hard to really make out at first, because it's sort of got like the reflection of the moonlight and stuff like that. But there is something, and it's a good like 50, 60 feet away to the edge of the water. But there is a reflection, a shine to the water that is decidedly different than the reflection of the moonlight. It seems a little off. And at first, you see that he's pointing to that. And then you see something a little bit more apparent in the darkness. A very you being a person who understands like steeds and animals of beasts of burden and things, it seems to be a very, very pretty pair of white horses at the edge of the water. Right here.
Unicorns.
Oh.
Oak sort of looks to Bjorn. Because he's the more typical paranoid one. Do we want to mess with that? That seems a little odd to me.
How close is it, you said? These
the
two?
the two horses are just on the edge of the lake, and it's a good, like, 60, 70 feet away. They have done nothing to look to you at all.
Still awful close to our camp. I am going to assume that Bjorn has had many encounters with horses before.
Yeah, you would.
So, could I make an insight check to try to determine if the way...
It would probably
Go
be
on.
closer to nature, knowledge of animals.
Or animal handling.
Hmm.
Animal handling is to deal with them. Nature is to know them.
Fair enough.
Alright. Do a nature roll then. See if I can figure out if they're sus or not. 14.
From the distance that you are, the fact that they're so, like, stark white tells you immediately that there's something off. Like, normally, wild horses would be dirtier.
Oh. We should not touch those.
Riven's not here.
I know, but
Well, Sid Oak, there's definitely something off about them. But I'm not entirely sure what. They look too clean, I suppose?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It's a bit weird. But they're not doing anything to us.
No, not at the moment. We shall keep an eye on them.
Yeah. That might be a good
And
idea.
if they come closer to camp, we can raise hell then.
Sure. We'll go with that.
So Bjorn will commit himself to the remainder of his watch to just keeping an eye on those horses.
Alright. You're a pretty vigilant fellow, and you have a sort of warning for, like, weird ambushes and stuff.
I do have that sword.
So, just before it would get to the time of, like, setting up to get Cad and Locke awake for their watch, Oak sort of hits at your shoulder to make sure you catch it, and the horses disappear into the lake.
called it.
Huh.
Fascinating. Bjorn would like to go up and examine the edge of the lake.
Alright. Are you gonna wake up anybody else, or are you going over there?
Oak's awake, so if something terrible happens, there'll be a witness.
A witness. That's a very reassuring choice of words. A witness.
But Oak would have to perceive something was going on. Oh, wait, no.
Yeah, that's not a concern with this guy.
Honestly, Oak probably already knows exactly what's going on, and he's just playing dumb for my benefit.
Probably doesn't.
So you're going to move on closer then. Alright. So, you will make your way closer, and you get to the edge of the lake, and you will see that that shining bit of metal, or shining bit that was different to the reflection of the light. As you get closer, but before you get to the edge of the water, you will see more pointedly that thing that was reflecting on the surface of the water was a very clean skull, human skull.
Oh. That's alarming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sort of call back to Oak. What do you know of the the history of this place? What is this place?
It's just a lake, as far as I know. I mean, there's a few legends about this place, but nothing like this that I'm aware of.
I am not convinced that it is safe to be this close to the lake.
Hey, Bjorn,
Yes.
Oh.
roll for me a wisdom save.
Oh, no.
Ah, why did you have to go closer?
A 17.
Okay. Not bad. You sort of resist. It's a little odd, but you will hear in your head as you're standing nearby. Come closer, warrior. Let us see you in the light of the moon. And you push it away, though. It's like, nope. Mm-mm.
Yep.
Nope, I know what happens when this happens. We float here, too.
Hey man, we've got like some weird fae bullshit on my continent too.
Huh? You do.
And Bjorn is now quickly backpedaling to camp. He's like, Oak, my friend, I believe we would be wise to not keep our camp here. I am convinced that there is something in that lake that would like to eat, if not our bodies, then definitely our souls.
And then,
Hilariously specific.
And then Oak's like, oh, yep, okay. Let's wake the others, move camp, get the heck away from here.
Yes.
Alrighty.
So, yeah, that's what we get to doing.
Cad, Locke, Eva driven, because moving camp now. Move.
What? Why?
There's evil in the lake. We must be distant from it.
Evil in the lake.
Have you been drinking again?
No, I stopped drinking a little while ago.
And I saw it too, and I wasn't drinking, so that should say something.
So I think he needs to lay off the alcohol a little bit, but
There's still evil in the lake.
yeah. Okay.
Go, feel free to check it out if you don't believe me. There's a skull and everything.
I'm
Actually,
good.
don't check it out. We should just leave.
Alrighty.
Oh,
I guess we move camp a little bit and then go back to sleep.
It would be at this point, you move camp a little ways away, and it would be Locke and Cad's watch at this point that you previously did, the 14 and the 22.
Does the lake that wants to consume us follow us, like something out of a weird Stephen King Dean Koontz novel, or are we good?
Well,
Why?
I don't actually know much about either of those authors' styles, aside from what I've heard secondhand from David. So,
We're definitely more in Stephen King territory than Dean Koontz right now.
gotcha.
so yeah, you stepped away. What's Bjorn's charisma?
Just a question.
He's pretty high
16.
because he's a paladin.
Yep,
He does make
16.
use of your charisma a little bit. Yeah. So I think there's going to be
Death?
You two set up for your watch, and you pulled camp away, and for a while there's not a whole lot of anything.
And then the mist rolls in.
Not well. No, not
Gosh.
mist. Not mist.
Not giving the DM ideas. I don't.
No, I don't think mist would make as much sense here per se. That might be a little
Turned
too on.
into
That might be a little too on the nose. But Locke, as
Oh,
you
no.
guys set up camp and everyone starts to get back to sleep, in particular Riven, you will see a trio of horses now. Not two,
now it's the trio.
but three, and they ain't pretty and white. They're a bit gangly and green, and they are going to come for your camp.
I will.
Why did they follow us?
I will holler like a banshee.
Yep, and we will pick the game up next time right there.
Ah!
Why? Why did you have to go closer to the water? Why did you have to draw the freaking kelpies to us?
Is that what that is?
Is that what they're called?
Yes. They look nice and pretty until they convince you to ride them, and then they'll hold on to you and drag you down into water to a watery death.
That's charming.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
And while they're drowning you, you get to sit there and watch them turn into this black mess of twisted green goo.
that's so that. Yeah.
It should be noted though. Yes, that may or may not be what that may be what they are, but kelpies are relatively low-level creatures.
Yeah, they are. But the thing is, there's 3 of them now.
Mm-hmm.
So why in the world are they following us?
Might have
They're
a
If
hungry.
reason.
we moved our camp.
If I were
They
to
might-
crack a guess, they're hungry.
They might have a reason. You don't know, and we will get to that soon. But yeah, should be great. Alrighty. So nice chill shopping session, and now we have an incoming combat. Great.
Woo!
Let's see. This has been Shadows of the Gradiriel. Next time
goes
can
next?
be Sam, since you seem to know what these cups are.
Ow.
I only know them because I've actually had to fight them before in D&D.
Whose game was that?
It was on a pretty much like a D&D server base
Oh,
thing.
okay. Okay. Nice.
So
Okay. But yeah. So next time can be you. Go for it.
next time, wait. Oh, you already did Shadow.
Yes, I did the shadows. You're doing the next time on join us next time part.
Let's see. Join us next time to figure out whether or not we get to fight some gangly green beasts and stuff, and whether or not any more of us are going to have some weird, funky dreams. What is magic?
What is magic?
Locke pokes his head in. Well, Riven, you see.